Okay, participants, attendees, neither of those are. Okay. You there, Bill? Taylor?
Yeah.
That's what happens. This is what happens when your grandbaby shows up from Texas today.
Oh, so they're up there today.
Yes, they're here, and everything else just, went to pot. That's all it is.
Yeah. Whenever the grandkids come to the office, it's always this is going to be a low productivity day.
Exactly. And I did the Zoom links this morning thinking I was so smart before they got here, and I totally, oh my word. Anyway.
No worries. Have we seen Taylor? Oh, never mind. There's
there
Taylor.
he is.
Yes, hi guys.
Hi there.
Taylor, it's so good to see you, man.
Good to see you guys. Hang on, let me get organized here.
I'm glad you got the correct link because I messed that one up.
Well, we have a good link now. So
yeah, our first grandbaby arrived today from Texas here in Michigan, and so
oh wow,
we kind of got a little distracted.
busy day.
Yeah, so they'll be fine.
Mark, can we bring these lights down a little bit? Because I'm really hot. Not that I'm not ever, but I'm really hot. And I mean, I'm like, it's like a tanning booth here. That's a little better. I mean,
but you have good light. That's better than most.
Well, yeah, light. And just, okay, so first, can you hear that?
Yep.
And is that overwhelming?
Nope.
Sounds great.
Can you hear me when I'm talking to you right now? So that's okay.
Yep.
So
Sounds
Mark,
good.
I'm in pretty good shape. I'm not, you know what? I'm in good shape. So just so you know, I'm in a little music club right now.
Right.
Okay, you knew that.
Yeah.
Great.
The joy or the cup or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm at the Cup of Joy.
The cup of joy, I had the right words, just had the wrong name.
Joy of Cup, though, is, Okay,
so I can tell you the top of the show, that's my involvement here, is just to get off the top of the show, and then you and Laura and Jay, you can work out after that if that works out for you guys. Are you okay with that, Laura?
I'm sorry, somebody was chatting to say hi to Taylor. What'd you say, Bill?
Oh, I was saying, I'll just explain to Taylor the top of the show here.
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah. So basically, Taylor, you shouldn't ever see my face once I switch this over here. But the way the show will go, at 7:45, we're going to go to some announcement playing slides that'll be pinned. Won't be able to see anything. You should mute your mic at 7:45 or mute your audio feed. And then the far end won't see anything until I release the pin of the graphics that we're going to show. So let me show you what that looks like, and you'll also show you what you'll hear. So first thing, this is what we'll be playing at 7:45. It'll just be this slide loop. Real quick, I'll play the nice little jazzy music I picked out for tonight's pre-show. Yeah, precisely. So then what'll end up happening is we'll see a transition over to this at 3 minutes to the top of the hour. We will start a 5-minute countdown. I know that sounds confusing, but it is pretty straightforward. So then what will happen at the top of the hour, just so you're aware, Taylor, is, as soon as I get started here. So then we'll transition back over to this. The music will fade down on this side of things. And then I will take that PowerPoint and start this great 5-minute countdown timer. And we'll take the audio from that, which I will have stopped the other audio by this point. And so then when we get to 30 to 15 seconds out, feel free to unmute your microphone at that point. At the end of the 5-minute countdown, when we hit 0, I'm going to I'm going to cut over to this slide here that says Ultimate Date Night. I'll give it a hot little breath, unpin. Once I unpin, you guys can start talking, do whatever, and it's all you guys until the end.
That sounds great to me, Bill. You know what? That sounds really perfect. Could you also just give me about 45 minutes of jokes? Just write them out and then email them to me really quick.
They're on the. I've already wrote them. I don't know if you knew. I already wrote. No. They're on their way.
Thank you so much. That will enhance my little presentation greatly.
Do you want to just take it away, or do you want us to ask you questions? What do you want to do? I mean, you've got your.
Tell me what works for you guys. Tell me what's been working for you guys. This is what your fourth or.
This will work. Yep. And basically, just talking about, you know, life with COVID. Obviously, you're back on the road. That's really great. Why don't you give us a little example of what's going on in your show these days? You know, take a break. We'll talk about, you know, we'll ask you, is Romeo with you tonight? Or, you know.
Yeah, who do you have tonight?
Awesome. You know, I am comfy, so that's great. So,
a couple weeks ago, we talked about the fact that you've been practicing a new art form. And
yeah, I've been practicing some magic. I don't know how to make that work in without a live audience.
Okay.
But like I can probably make some, you know, the Zoom audience that's watching, they're not all going to be mic'd up, right? I mean, they're going to have their mics off.
Just the two of us are mic'd up.
Right. So people don't. Okay. So
in the VIP, they'll be mic'd up.
And okay. So that would be my next question. How long do you need me to go? How long is our little, for lack of a better word, let's call it an interview. How long is that going to go?
45. 35 to 45. Then we'll switch to the second link that we sent you the second time.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Did she tell you why we're whacked out today?
Yeah. I said our
yeah, you've got a grandkid came from Texas.
Yes, for the first time. Arrived at 3 o'clock.
A 6-week-old grandchild came today.
Oh my gosh.
Arrived at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Anyway, so then during the VIP, we'll go right from the show. We'll tell the VIPs to hit the second link. We'll hit the second link and do that. So the VIP is much more having them ask you questions and
we'll monitor the questions. We'll tell you what they're asking you. I mean, we'll try and figure out. You know, last week with Ken, there was like 6 VIPs, so they just talked to him, and we'll see. There's a potential for 19, but we'll see.
One of the things we're finding with these shows in June is that, you know, it's nice out. People are going out for dinner. People are, you know, out in the yard. So we are recording this, and we will send a recorded version to everyone who's paid for it. So everybody who's paid for it will get it one way or the other.
Great.
Do you have what of your friends do you have with you tonight? Paco or Romeo or?
I have Romeo. I have Paco. I have Paquito. I have Ramon. I have Zero. I brought a bunch of puppets, and we can talk about. We can do that. We can do. I'm sitting at a piano here.
Yeah. I think that's what people want to see. They want to see those people who know you and know what you do. They want to see you with
do what it is that you
friends. So we'll probably just ask you some questions, and you can just, I mean, if you want Romeo to talk to us about quarantine, or if you want
right,
or Paco to talk to us about marriage, although Romeo's the one that seems to be he's the
yes. Agreed. All right, so we are good to go. So we're going to start up in about 6. Well, the video is going to start up in about 10 minutes, correct, Bill?
We're actually we'll start running the loop in 1.5.
Yeah.
And then that'll mute you, but then we don't start until 2 after the hour. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, that's what we can say. Unless you've got more questions, we're going to shut down. We're going to mute us. You should mute you in 1 minute, and then we will reconvene when the countdown clock hits 30 seconds. And Bill,
15.
Yeah, Bill will throw up a couple of slides, and then we'll have at it.
All right, guys.
Very
Sounds good to me. I'm going to mute myself right now.
Us too. Good evening. Hey, Taylor, how are you?
Hi, Jay. Hi, Laura. How are you guys?
Hi,
We're
Taylor.
great. We're doing wonderful. Folks, welcome to the Ultimate Date Night virtual experience with Taylor Mason. This is so much fun. We're going to talk about COVID and a bunch of other things. Just to let everybody know kind of the format tonight is that Taylor is actually in Green Bay, Wisconsin at Cup of Joy. Is that correct? Cup of Joy?
I'm at Cup of Joy. It's a great music club in Green Bay, Wisconsin. If you're ever here, actually, and they're moving to a new space. They're doing very well. They're making money hand over fist. You can't believe how successful this place is. It's just unbelievable. They draw an incredible crowd. Even tonight, they don't even have a show planned for tonight, but there's a crowd here that's really wild.
Well,
they're really loud. They're really crazy. It's really loud.
Yeah.
Well, and the good news is that you're back out on the road. Yeah, and the good news is you're back out on the road, and
I'm back out on the road. Even though the COVID-19 thing obviously has put a pall over everything. Travel is just a complete night. You guys probably know this. Have you flown? Have you tried to fly in the last couple of weeks?
We did. We flew to Texas to see our granddaughter, and Detroit Airport was like
A ghost
town. I mean,
It was really eerie.
It was scary. Yeah.
I think just the whole idea now is it's so wild, you guys. I flew here from New Jersey, which is, New Jersey's crazy. And first of all, it's the only state in America where we use air freshener outdoors. That's first. Second, New Jersey's different because now here I'm in Green Bay, and similar to where you guys live there in Michigan, it's a very comfortable place, lots of neighbors. Not that we don't have neighbors in New Jersey, but in New Jersey, we call them witnesses. So it's a completely different vibe, a completely different feel. But travel now, Newark Airport, the same as you guys, it was barren, except for the departing gates. And I think just the whole idea of travel for all of us now is, well, here's how much it's changed, you guys. I plugged my stuff into TripAdvisor and asked for advice for the trip, and it said, just take some LSD. So, I guess for all of us, it's a question of balancing out how much we're gonna travel, where we're gonna go, and do all that. But I'm in Green Bay. I'm thrilled to be with you guys here on Ultimate Date.
No doubt, we're thrilled to be with you too, and we're gonna hear a little bit of of some of the stuff you've developed over COVID. But really, I'm excited that your piano's there. Did you write a song at all about COVID? I gotta believe you wrote a song.
I haven't. You know what? I haven't really written a song about COVID, but I could. And it would, if I did write a song about COVID, it might go something like this. So, actually, that would be my wife's version of the song for having been with me for 3 months now. So
All of us being home when we're used to not being home.
Right. So this is a date night.
and just to clear the air in the beginning, this has been what I've awakened to. There's some children in this audience. I want you to be grammatically correct. This is what I've awakened to. I'm just going to say 3 times a week since March 15th. And that are these words. I wake up, my wife is standing at the end of the bed, and she says, don't you have a gig somewhere? And so far, the answer has been for that, no, I haven't. And of course, then when I say no, the day goes downhill from there. But I finally got Cup of Joy to, actually, they were very nice, and they allowed me to come in and waste a weekend here in Green Bay, where it's pouring outside, but nobody cares. And they're just happy that this whole thing is starting to come to an end, and people are actually getting out and doing things again. So awesome.
So this is a date night. We want to give some date night advice to couples. How have you and your wife fared during this? I mean, obviously, it's tense. I mean, you're gone a lot, so she has time to herself. You've got time to yourself, and now you've been thrust together for 3 months. What have you learned?
What we've done is, first of all, I'm a ventriloquist. For those of the folks who don't know, and of course, the pandemic has been just an incredible boon for my industry. And we'll just start with this, because this thing has been the best thing to happen to ventriloquism since Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, who were ventriloquists on the radio during the 1930s, which they called the Great Depression. And one of the reasons they called it the Great Depression is because a ventriloquist was the biggest act in the world on the radio, which is really depressing if you think about it.
Hilarious.
Second, Yeah, exactly. Second, you know, my ventriloquist puppets figures, I call them my imaginary friends, because a lot of times, Jay, Laura, I do shows for every kind of audience you can imagine. In a world that is becoming increasingly divisive, I try to put those two words together, increasing and divisive there, a new word, increasingly, but it's increasingly divisive now. But my show, I try to incorporate and include as many people as I can, and I do a lot of ventriloquism, which is a great thing, except that it is 2020. There are all these movies, all this stuff about weird, wacky ventriloquists and the puppets, and children sometimes come up to me at the end of my program if I'm doing a show with kids in the audience, and they'll say, those puppets were really scary. And I have to explain, no, those are my imaginary friends come to life. It's what your mom and dad call Facebook. Okay, your mom and dad have thousands of friends and thousands of followers, and they think in their mind that they're real friends. Of course, we all know that they're not. You know, they're just, a lot of them are bots. But I always say that my ventriloquist friends are real. And by the way, I know there's some folks who are watching the program right now, not all that familiar in 2020 with Facebook, which means there should be a where have you been man tax on everything you purchase. But if you're not familiar with Facebook, let me just explain what Facebook is. This is, if you boil Facebook down to the essential elements that make up the most popular social platform in media, Facebook, this is all it is. The phone rings, you pick it up. A complete stranger says, hey, I'm baking cookies, and hangs up. That's Facebook. So if you don't have Facebook or Twitter or any of that, you're really not missing much. My point is that I have, for the last 3 months, been sequestered at my wife's demand request that I stay in my room. My room is a little tiny office. It's about the size of a closet. Her studio is humongous, but mine is the size of a closet. It actually comes in handy because I'm learning what it's like for my puppets who live in one of these. They live in a bag. And I've basically, for the last 3 months, been living in a large bag in my house. So I guess as a ventriloquist and as a performer, everything for me is now syncing perfectly. And I found that my wife is much happier if I'm in the bag office. So that's how she and I are kind of working our relationship out. We've had our relationship, listen, she has a dog, and I know there's dog people, and there are probably dog people here. My wife has a lovely dog, a rescue dog. We've had purebreds in the past, but now we're rescue-only people, and God love the rescue-only people. I won't have anything to do with it, but my wife loves the rescue dog. My wife and that dog have a relationship that's still illegal in many states. But as far as I'm concerned, with, you know, they can sleep together if they want to. And I really don't mind waking up in a little corner of the bed as this big black furry monster is laying next to me. I have no problem with that. I don't mind the licking. I don't mind the fact that when the dog goes on the beach and becomes a sand muffin, that I'm the one who has to clean it, because this is all part of the COVID-19, you know, my spouse is an idiot program that I've been a part of for the last 3 months. Not that I'm complaining at all. And let's be honest with each other. My wife did not sign up to watch Ultimate Date Night tonight. I did tell her that I was going to be on tonight, and she said, so I don't think she's going to be tuning in to watch my little presentation. So I hope that answered your question, whatever it was 10 minutes ago. I hope that,
It is Ultimate
that
Date Night, and one of your imaginary friends, who I think probably would chime in on a date night, is Romeo. Did you take him to Green Bay with you?
I brought him all, and you know what I'd like to do, if you don't mind, Laura, I'd like to do my own thing. So if you don't mind stopping with the interruptions and just let me do my thing, I'll just do my act, and then you can be part of it if you want to. All right, but I would just as soon, and of course, you both know all about puppetry, because in the LaFoon household, Jay is the puppet. So Jay, I know what it's like to be manipulated and, you know, forced to do things that you can't control. Let's move on to what I want to do and what I was hoping I could do before you guys. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you again. Go
No,
ahead.
No,
Go
no.
ahead with your.
So we
your-
do know that the word manipulate has the word man in it, right?
Yes, it does.
Right. So yeah. So that is what we are made to be, is manipulated. So yes. So go ahead.
And in your a woman
Taylor.
were manipulated. But you know, why don't we just let me do my act, and then you can chime in later and ruin everything at that time.
Very good.
Okay, so. And there are people probably watching who don't know who Jay and Laura are.
And they don't care.
I can set you up, baby, all night long. All right, so I'm a ventriloquist, and this is how I got started. And even though this is an ultimate date night, I'm going to do this anyway because this has a lot to do with family. And my mom and dad were married almost 50 years. Before my dad passed away, they had one argument that I can remember that happened the entire time that I was there. It lasted about 40 years. But that's not my point, not my point. And thank you, Bill Gaither. I stole that joke from him, and I have no problem with that. This is how I got started. My mom would do the laundry, and she would roll socks up into a ball. And I'm going to give you the full Monty here. My mom would do the laundry, and with socks. So this is how a career starts. And I always tell people that I come from a family where my mom and dad stayed married forever. I had a lot of support and a lot of love. And people, you know, I was introduced to Jesus Christ at a very young age. And so I've kind of been blessed and fallen upstairs, and it all for a lifetime. And it pretty much all starts with this right here. My mom would roll up the socks into a ball. She had a saying, the saying every day, and I heard this for my entire life, start every day with a smile. This was her mantra. Start every day with a smile, which is not a bad way to start your day. Now, bringing that back to ultimate date night and married couples, a lot of times early in the morning, as I'm sitting at the breakfast table with my wife, I'll say, start every day, honey, we should start every day with a smile. She often says this. I see Laura's not laughing, but I don't care because Jay is. And sometimes my jokes just work for one gender.
Oh no, because we can relate.
Yes, perfect. So there's been a lot of that during COVID-19. Did I tell you we did a dinner meeting? We did an online dinner meeting with some friends in New Jersey. We did it online. Everybody ate the same thing, eggplant parm. And one of the couples had their niece there, and her name was Nectar, which should have told me right at the beginning that there was going to be a problem. But I was kept quiet during the dinner. And then at one point she piped up, you know, this internet is ruining all of us. It's affecting our DNA. It's going to be the death of everybody here. It's ruining our children. Don't you understand? It's turning their minds to mush. This is while we're all on Zoom doing a Zoom thing. Apparently she's not aware of that. So I, you know, innocently raised my finger to say something. And then an asparagus spear came out of nowhere and nailed me right between the eyes, right there. So I kept quiet for the rest of the meal. While Nectar told us all about being a tree hugger. I thought this was interesting too. I wanted to ask her, what is tree hugging about? And I didn't have to because she did the whole thing. She actually sees a tree and then she doesn't want to get into their space. This is what she said, doesn't want to get into their space right away. So she walks around it to make sure that they both are aware of each other. Then she hugs the tree. And at that point, even my wife said, where does it go from there? And Nectar said, that's what I think too. I just let things go from there, which to me was time for dessert. Okay, so this is how I got started in show business. My mom would roll up the socks like this. And remember her saying, start every day with a smile?
Right.
That's important.
Right.
She would form the top, instead of leaving the sock top like that, every day, she would form that sock top. Hope I can do this. No, I'm not my mom. She would form that into a smile, right like that. So that every day when I would wake up as a little boy, there were 15 or 20 smiling little fuzzballs looking up at me on the farm in Grand Ridge, Illinois. What's the big deal? On television, there was a lady named Sherry Lewis.
There you go.
She had a sock on her hand. The sock was a farm animal. My family is farmers. It didn't take me more than 4 or 5 years to figure out what my mother was telling me. The sock doesn't go on your foot. the sock is supposed to go on your hand and make everybody smile. So one day, like Sherry Lewis, I take the sock, I put it on my hand, hello, hello, and my sock, my sock, okay, my sock talked to me, hello, not yet though. My sock talked back. I would stand in front of a mirror, kind of the way I'm talking to you right now, and
Right.
stop nodding, and talk. Are we good? We're good. I would talk to my sock. Hello, Taylor, stop. Now, this is okay. No, it's not. Yes, it is. I'm a sock. I know that. It's okay until mom and dad come in and see you one day talking to the sock in the mirror. And this was cause for something called a family intervention, where people stood around and talked to me about my sock on my hand. Now, at that point, I started taking the sock, okay, very seriously. And I actually, okay, I actually made the sock into, hello, how are you? I'm good, good, smile for everybody. Can you smile? Oh, that's so good. That's so clever. All right, so I got started in show business as a ventriloquist. I'm not going, no, you can't talk anymore. What? You cannot talk anymore. How come? There's obviously no sock. You're not a puppet. I'm the naked puppet. Oh, stop it. No. All right, so that will kind of lead me into what I'm going to do now, which is what Laura asked about a half an hour ago. This is my friend Romeo, and I've been working with this guy for a long time, and it's kind of freaky. Everybody here, don't become a mob. All right, for you guys watching, this middle part right here that I'm holding this is a Clorox bottle. Believe it or not, this thing is perfect for the pandemic in so many ways. One of the ways is the body is a Clorox bottle. It's already sterilized. So as far as social distancing goes, when I put my hand inside, it doesn't really matter. No, you got to do social distancing. Fine. All right, so I'm going to be as politically correct as I can be here, and I know social distancing is important, so I'm going to clean the inside of Romeo right now. Oh, no. Yes. Not the white yet. No. Yes. No. Ah! Stop. Ah! All I'm doing is sterilizing the inside of Romeo, my partner, so that there can't be any complaints that there was, okay. Oh, that was disgusting. I'm sorry. Like a medical procedure. Okay, nobody needs to hear that. Like a medical procedure. All right. Yeah, you said the words. All right. So what are we doing? Jay and Laura. Oh, hi. Okay. Laura, what's up? Leave her alone.
Hi, Romeo.
Okay. So everybody, I always explain everything about Romeo's entire makeup. What do you mean? His eyebrows that go up and down that he's very proud of. That's a coat hanger. What? It's a coat hanger. We stuck a coat hanger through there, bent it, covered it with pipe cleaner. Boom. Eyeballs. The whites of his eyes, that's a ping pong ball. Really? That's all it is. Wow. His body, as I said, is a Clorox bottle. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm clean. Okay. You know, there are a lot of Christian people watching this program, people of faith. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. You want to meet somebody Christian? You want to impress her? Okay. What do you say to her? Girl, I think you got one of my ribs. Okay, come on. Yeah, well, you're going to get a lot of hate mail about that because what is that? It's a Christian pickup line. Nobody wants to know a Christian pickup line. Let's make sure we get everything done here. I brought just in case. No! I brought just in case. No! I brought Lysol because I don't want there to be with social distancing and everything else. I want to make sure. No! All right. All right. Are you going to be okay? I don't know. Okay. How do I smell? You smell really good. So, yeah, Romeo and I have been together. We've had mostly, I guess you could say, a career. Yeah. And you've had some jobs. Yes, I have. Latest job you've had? Where's Jay? Jay's and Laura are in Michigan. I love Michigan. I worked there. You worked in Michigan. Now that's sweet. What did you do? I was a tackling dummy. A tackling dummy, like for football. Mm-hmm. Well, that's so nice. Pee-wee football? No. High school football? No. College? No. NFL? Mm-hmm. National Football League? National Football League. You were a National Football League tackling dummy. Right. I was. 300-pound men who can run 40 yards in 4 seconds were tackling you? No. I was with the Detroit Lions. Come on. That's a cheap shot. They don't tackle. Okay, yeah, you don't even have to say that. The first joke worked. You didn't have to rub it in. Here's what it was like. So this is what it was like being a tackling dummy with the Detroit Lions. Watch, okay. Shoot. Miss me? Oh, come on, man. Okay, the Lions have had some rough seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What else have you done? This is a night about couples, okay, getting together, working. Have you ever dated anybody? I tried. Oh, this is good. You know what? You're not going to do this. Romeo went to this online platform called Match.com. I hate you. Did you or did you not go to Match.com? I did. If you're not familiar, how could someone not be familiar? Stop it. If you're not familiar, Match.com is an online dating service. Doesn't work. It's worked for millions of people. Not me. You went to the website. Mm-hmm. Match.com. Yep. You filled in the form. Yeah. You put your name, Romeo. You put your race, Mannequin American. What? Mannequin American. Mannequin American. Great. You put your occupation, pyromaniac. 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 Looking for a match. Oh, get out of here, man. Get out of here. The idea is that they will match you. Match.com. Find somebody in the world, all right? And let's face it, in the great overarching plan, the Lord has someone for you. Yeah? Didn't work for me. Okay, so they match you with somebody. Didn't work. Okay, why not? She had tattoos. You're so judgmental. What do you mean? You don't like tattoos? No. What did the tattoos say? Made in China. Oh, come on, man. Made in China. All right. I was like, no. Okay. Now what's going on? Right? Whatever. Nobody wants to hear that. What else? Did you ever meet a Christian girl? She didn't like me. She didn't like you because you can be sacrilegious. I told her I could tweet the Bible. Tweet the Bible. Yeah. You can tweet the Bible? Yep. That's impossible. How come? The Bible's thousands of pages. So a tweet is like 180 characters, 240 characters. You can't take that and make it into that. I did it. That's impossible. It's a miracle. Okay, wise guy. Tweet the 10 Commandments. One word. Don't. Book of Revelation. 2 words. Uh-oh. Do a story in the Bible. Like what? Abraham marries his sister. Rednecks of the Old Testament. Come on. Fine. You know, so obviously he doesn't know a thing. Stop it. He doesn't stop. No, they like me. No. Laura, help me. So that's kind of let me wipe off my forehead here. Not that I'm sweating. I'm not. I'm just dousing myself with sweat. So that as an answer to your question, Laura, that's kind of what Romeo is in my, for lack of a better word, career. I've had all these wild experiences with him because I play comedy clubs, which is great. I enjoy comedy clubs. I'm a Cup of Joy in Green Bay, like not right now, as I said, which I love. This is just a wonderful room with great people. The audiences are loud and wild. Sometimes. And I enjoy it, except I've had experiences. One night I had a guy in the audience get mad, not at me, got mad at Romeo, and literally ran up on stage and attacked Romeo. The guy was sitting over there. I'm here. Romeo is here. And the guy is yelling at Romeo, I'll meet you outside after the show. And I'm trying to keep my act going. So I have Romeo talk back to him, right? Okay, I'll go with you, but you have to carry me. Things like that. My show's going down the tube. So I finally said to the guy, will you take it easy? You're ruining my act. He says, you shut up. I'm talking to him. And he runs up on stage and he grabs Romeo's head. Ow, sorry. He grabs his head. Ow, sorry. Rips the head out of the Clorox bottle, takes the head, just the head, and throws it So Romeo's head is flying through the air. Being good at what I do, I had the presence of mind to make the head go, "Wah!" as it sailed through the air. So I've had all these wild experiences with Romeo, and we've been together for, I don't even know how many years. I used to work with a wooden-headed, when I started out, I had a wooden-headed slot jaw. This is a true story. A wooden-headed slot jaw puppet, and I was at the time playing piano bars, doing like, "Hi, how are you? Welcome to the Holiday Inn." And I'm doing that, and I had this wooden-headed puppet sitting on the piano with a Panama hat down over his head, and the puppet would heckle the people, sitting around the piano trying to sing along. The puppet would say, "This is the worst singing I've ever heard. Don't quit your day job." Just all this nasty stuff. One night, a guy got so angry, not at me, got mad at the puppet. His name was JP. He ran over, grabbed, it was a wooden head. He yanked the head out of the body of the puppet. It was like a composite fiberglass and wood head with a stick and the controls to open the eyes and all that. He was so upset, he took it and threw it against the wall, and it shattered. And the next day, I started working with soft figures like Romeo, because never had that. And the guy was devastated, by the way. The guy was, "Oh, what have I done? I don't know. Is he gonna live? I don't know, sir. I don't know. Was he ever alive?" So yeah, that's a true story.
So Taylor, I think a lot of people, they love to watch ventriloquism because it is such an art. It's definitely an amazing.
Wait. Excuse me. Wait, say that again.
I find ventriloquism an art.
Oh, fantastic! I've never heard that before. I've heard it described as other things.
No. It really is an art form.
On the ladder of show business, ventriloquism is underneath juggler. We're underneath hypnotist. We're underneath the guy at the park with the banjo, the cymbals on his elbows, the little musical things on his ears, and the thing on his feet that he wiggles to make a sound. We're down underneath that. So to hear you call it an art is just that you blessed me today. Thank you, Jay. I wish my wife was watching.
So how did you get started with the training yourself not to move your lips?
Standing in front of a mirror with my sock is where I started. So glad you asked, because it's important. Let's see. Come here. So I grew up on a hog farm. Family raised a barrow to gilt, which is, and it's a birth to slaughter hog operation run by Art Mason, my uncle, who we no longer have hogs. We can't compete with the hog condos, down the street. They're unbelievable. They've got their own pool. They read Kierkegaard. They're, really smart pigs. But my family raised hogs, and the pigs, I love these pigs. I worked on the farm a couple of summers with my Uncle Art. Loved the pigs. The problem was my favorite one would disappear into the night after 9 or 12 months. So my grandmother and I built a pig. This was after the family intervention over the sock. Just to get real with you, there were a lot of people in my family that were concerned about me walking around the house with a sock in my hand that talked, particularly if the sock said insulting things to people, maybe about their weight or their study habits or other various, things that people shouldn't be doing. The sock seemed to be very into all that, and whatever the sock said would irritate people in the family. So it was decided we'd make a real puppet, and we made a pig. And of course, a lot of the folks that work on the farm are from Central America, which is great. Hola, señor. Hola, Paco. Say hello to Jay and Laura. Hola, Jay. Hola. Okay.
Hola.
Okay. Say hello. Entiende? No, entiende. We're going to do our thing. ¿Cómo es? No, we're not doing that. ¿Dónde está este señor? Stop it. Chico, entiende, Federico. This is weird because I don't speak Spanish. But I do? Yep, that is weird. Okay, whatever. Let's just do our thing. These guys are from Michigan. God help me. You have a problem with Michigan? Barbecue. Yeah, barbecue would be a problem. What else? Football. We already talked about football. What's your problem with football? My father is a football. No. The Lions keep dropping him and dropping him and dropping him. Yeah, they had that problem for many
Preach.
years. Shut up, Jay. Okay. So what I would do is the hard letters to say are M, F, M, V, P, W, and Y. So, and if you really want to learn how to do ventriloquism, I mean, if that is your reason to live, your raison d'etre, if that's it, you want to live as a ventriloquist, you need to buy my book, The Complete Idiot's Guide to Ventriloquism. That's the true title. I don't make any money off it because I got an advance and spent it all right away. So, but you can still buy it. It's online, The Complete Idiot's Guide to Ventriloquism. It'll teach you how to make all, actually I'll use Romeo. Come here. No, come back up here. No, come here. Ow, sorry. You know what? What? My breath is great. Yeah, well, that's because it's Lysol. So I would practice saying letters into the mirror without moving my lips. Do it. For example, a hard letter is B. Okay. We're going to make the B sound right now. Ready? Yep. B. Now you do it. Duh. No. We're making the B sound. B. Duh. B. Duh. So you can't make the sound B? No, you can't make the sound. Do you want to go back in the suitcase? Bumblebee. Thank you very much. No dishes. I got it going on, girl. All right, man. Have you had a job? Have you ever had a job? You know what they're doing? They are helping people. Jay and Laura LaFoon are helping people find one another, rekindle something, maybe reinforce something. Okay, do you understand that? Have you ever done anything like that? Yes. Have you ever had a job that would help people? Yes, medical. You worked in the medical profession. I can hardly wait to hear this. What did you do? I was a cardiopulmonary resuscitation dummy. A what? Cardiopulmonary resuscitation. You were a cardiopulmonary resuscitation dummy? I was a cardiopulmonary resuscitation dummy. Why do you like saying that? I like to see you say it without moving your lip. Okay, whatever, man. Very funny. All right, fine. So you were a CPR dummy? Yes. And what did you do? Oh, that's great. So you just had to lay there. It was a great job. You just lay there. Yeah. That was your whole job? Jay knows what that's like. Oh, come on, man. That's mean. That's not funny. That's not funny. That is a mean joke. Sorry, Jay. So you would lay there, and then people would come and practice giving you the breath of life. Yes. Well, now, see, good can come from everything, even from something as noodly as you. So you're a CPR dummy. People come and practice breathing into your mouth. What was that like? Disgusting. Okay. Why? Kale. You tasted some kale? I'm sorry. That's awful. How long were you doing it? Hours. Hours of just laying there? 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day? How many people? 100. 100 people coming and breathing into your mouth? Yeah. That's crazy. I had fun. You had fun? How did you do that? One time the guy came. Okay, one time guy comes. I'm there. Okay. And he puts his mouth on yours? Yes. And he breathes? Yeah. And what did you do? He got up, right? And what did you do? I did this. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. That's awful. So, okay. Any other experiences? Yeah. Guy was weird. A guy was weird. What did he do? Rub my shoulders. He was rubbing your shoulders, rubbing my hair, rubbing your hair, rubbing your shoulders. Who would do that? Joe Biden. No. Yes. Oh, that is awful. This crowd got that joke. Okay, whatever. Okay. All right. Fine. So that's how I've started, making the words, making the letters. You have to fit the words in its mouth. It's called synchronization. Not like Disney. What do you mean not like Disney? Oh yeah. We went one time, we do a lot of work for Disney. Tell them why. We work for Disney because puppets. I have puppets. Clean. I work clean. Yeah. There's only one company that hires it. There's only one company that hires it. So we work for Disney. And we went to the It's a Small World show one time. It's a Small World. Romeo saw all his cousins. Here they were. Yep. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. No lip syncing. Okay, so what we've done is I figured out how to put the words directly into his mouth as he's talking to make it look as if he's real. Whoa, okay? Say, hua mama, hey ya mama, dig a water. What? These are syllables that make me practice not moving my lips while my partner here says the words. Ready? Yep. All right. Hua mama, hey ya mama, dig a water. No. Okay, stop. There's some children here. Okay, all right. Stop. Hua mama, hey ya mama, dig a water. Do it. No. Hua mama, hey ya mama, hey ya mama. Dig-a-wada. Dig-a-wada. Perfect. Now say it. Hua mama, hey your mama, dig-a-wada. Do it. Who's your nana on your daddy? Let's get out of here. Oh, wow. So, all right, where are we? Oh, we've got an hour and a half to go. All right, this is going so smooth. This is going so smooth.
Great.
I worked for a while. Do you have anything you want to ask?
Well,
No, you told me to just watch the show, so I'm not asking you anything.
You sounded just like my wife. You sounded just like my wife. It's because this is what I heard. You told me to just watch the show. So let's come full circle. Okay, honey. Okay, I'll be quiet now.
So where'd you get your shirt? I love your shirt.
You like this?
I do.
Another good story. Actually, perfect segue, Jay. Thank you. You are doing perfect segues that are, positive and move our program forward, unlike some other people. I love the blues. I love blues music, all right? That's actually really good ventriloquism. I wasn't playing. So I love the blues, and I'm from Chicago, and this is many years ago. I did a show, and I was the opening act for a guy named Buddy Guy, and Buddy Guy wore a white and black polka dot suit, and at the end of the thing, I said, I gotta have, where do you get that? I want one. And he gave me a shirt. Now, since then, I bought like 10 of these. So, but that Buddy Guy, and I love the blues, man. Actually, I always wanted to be a blues musician, but I'm never going to be able to play the blues. Look at me. I'm really happy. So, for you guys tuning in and for you guys here, this is the world's worst blues song. This is the world's worst blues song. Got a house in the suburbs. Got a beautiful wife. I got a happy little family. I love my life. I got the blues. Yeah, I got the happy blues. Life's a celebration. It's a jubilation. And I got Prozac. So, okay, there's my beginning of my musical interlude. Where are we here? How much more time do you guys want to keep going? Because I can
We got
obviously
about 5 more before the VIP session. About 5 more minutes before the VIP.
5 minutes. Great. We can pretty much do whatever you want to do. I've been, like you said, I've been practicing all this. I've had months in a little room, and I've been practicing stuff. Oh yeah, I can't believe I actually did that. I'm not doing it again because cars will go everywhere. So I've been practicing magic in my little room for the last 3 months. So here's and there's no way to prove that I've got that's just a regular deck of cards. So I'm gonna do a one-hand shuffle here, okay, and try to show you that I'm not like I don't have like a trick card deck. I've just got a deck of cards. All right, I'm doing a one-hand shuffle. I guess I should do it up here so you can actually see that I'm doing. Now I know you're not impressed, but this took me like 6 months. I mean, I've been working on this since before the thing started, and I can do all these tricks now with basic cards. All right, so I can show you the top card on the deck, which is obviously the king of something, the king of clubs. Okay, put that back down. You see that was the top card, right? I'm going to take the top card off. I'm going to hold it up, and it turned into something else. Yes, these are skills that it took me almost 3 months to learn, and the applause is overwhelming. So I'm so glad that I took that time to learn to do all these tricks. But thanks, guys. Yeah, I've been working on magic. I haven't been sitting around doing nothing. It's the highlight of my day is often waking up, asking my wife if she's in a good mood, and telling her that we should start each day with a smile, and then being told walk the dog. So I spent a lot of time walking the dog. I spent a lot of time going back in time and talking to my puppets alone in my room, practicing, which should actually be a TV show. And here's a good story too. I've got all these. I can tell you, I've got a million stories. And unfortunately, forget the 5 minutes. We went way past that. My wife once told me that the reason I don't do more like short TV spots is because it takes me 30 minutes to say hello. And I pretty much proved that here in the last 45 minutes. Yeah, I don't know where to go, and I don't know when to stop. But back to my point, which I got all these stories. I've just been doing show business for my entire life. I once was the opening act for this guy named Warren Zevon. Okay, so Warren Zevon was in the 70s. He wrote the song, I think it was called Ahoo, COVID-19. No, it wasn't called COVID-19. But so I'm the opening act for Warren Zevon, and I go out on stage, and I'm going to do my little ventriloquist act with my sock and Romeo. And actually, at that time, it was just the sock and the pig. That was my whole 30 minutes. So now I'm in a music club, and I'm the opening act for Warren Zevon. I walk out, and the crowd is all bikers. You know, black leather jackets, chains around their neck. So, I'm in a panic. And as soon as I walk out, they're like, "Who are you? Get off the stage. We didn't pay for this." So I walk over to the piano, and I sit down at the piano, and I play his song. The crowd goes crazy. And I'm looking over at the stage manager, and I see the guy, you can't do Warren Zevon's song. So what did I do? I did a 30-minute medley of Warren Zevon's song. The crowd went crazy. The crowd loved it. And I walked off. I did get paid, but I never worked with Warren Zevon again. Sorry, Warren Zevon, wherever you are. I worked with Gordon Lightfoot one time, and he forgot the lyrics to his songs. And this was before teleprompters. So, and I used to do a song with Romeo. Come here. No, get up here. No. I don't know if I can do this anymore because I haven't done this since about 1990 was the last time I did this. It was a song about auctioneering, right? And Romeo and I used to do this. There was a boy from Ottawa who never listened to his ma when she told him that he should go to school, right? A $25 bid, you do it. $25 bid, not $30, 30, give me 30, make a 30, 30. He does the auction. Okay, this is the auction. Do it again. $25 bid, not $30, 30, give me 30, make a 30, 30. Okay, so we do that in our act. Between shows, or two shows, between shows, Gordon Lightfoot's manager comes over to me and says, "You can't do that auction song anymore." Why not? Because Gordon Lightfoot's going to do it in the second show. And I said, "No, wait a minute. That's my song." "Not anymore." And he did the song. He did my show. He did my show in the second show.
Oh my goodness. You probably got stories like that could go on forever. People you've worked with and people.
I have a ton. I worked with a ton of. I worked with Neil Sedaka, who was this great musician from the 50s. Big fan, and I knew a lot of these guys I worked with. I worked with Jerry Lee Lewis. I might as well do this whole thing because what the heck? What were we doing here? All right. So a little Jerry Lee Lewis. Honey, a whole lot of shaking going on. I said a whole lot of honey, you can't go wrong. Whole lot of shaking going on. All right, so I opened for Jerry Lee Lewis on Idol. Okay, I've learned my grandmother would listen to his records, old, the discs. So I knew all these Jerry Lee Lewis lives. So at the end of meeting him, I'd go up to him. "I'm so honored to meet you, Jerry Lee Lewis. I'm a huge fan." And he shook my hand, like he just took my fingernails like that. And I said, "What is this?" And he said, if you're a real piano player, you don't shake hands like that. You just touch your hands like that, just the real." "Oh, okay, Mr. Lewis. I never knew that." So yeah, I would meet all these people that I played REO Speedwagon. I opened for them one time. These acts that I've been playing all their music, which it was wild, you guys. I was living in Chicago. I met my wife. We were living together on the north side of Chicago when you could live together and afford it. It was affordable. It would be our apartment was real cheap, and we were both working at this theater called the Second City Theater in Chicago, really cool place for comedy. And my wife was in production, and I was a musical director. And I got the job auditioning to be an actor. And I went to be auditioned to be an actor. And during the audition, the producer came in and said, "I'm looking at your resume. Do you know how to read music?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And she said, "Can you read this?" So I go over to the piano and sit down. I'll never forget this. This was the song that got me a job at the Second City. It went like this. I'll never forget this. Key of E. Well, I hate liver. Liver makes me quiver. Liver makes me curl right up and die. And I'm like, this is what I'm going to get paid for, to do this? And so I got hired at the Second City. I actually met my wife working at the Second City Theater in Chicago. We had a little apartment on the near north side, and I was doing all these gigs. I would do like Second City. I would be the musical director for the Friday night first show. Then I would go to the Park West, and I'd be the opening act for Conway Twitty or Tina Turner or one of these big acts. And then I'd run back to Zany's Comedy Club and do a show. So, and my wife and I, it was very exciting for us. We met, I just got out of grad school, and we had met, that was, gosh, this is dating myself, it was 1983. And we'd actually met a year before. My wife is Brazilian, so she looks fantastic in a bikini, but the number on our MasterCard and what we owe on it is the same. All right. So, again, nothing personal there. So, but we got to we'd been in an acting class together, and then she went to Brazil to visit family. When she came back, I had finished getting a master's degree from Northwestern, which all comedians need, plus the incredible amount of debt that I was in from getting a student loan. And then I moved in with her, and we've been together. That was 1983. So we've been together for, how long is that, 37 years?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. And we'll be married 34 years in what, June 28th. I can't believe I remember. Thank God. Well, it doesn't matter. She doesn't watch my shows, so.
Well, Taylor, you have been so entertaining. It has been so great to be with you here tonight.
Wait a minute, we're done? No, I've got a whole bunch of, I got at least 2 more puppets, and I've got this audience ready to explode. They're going to go crazy any second.
Well,
You can bring out the puppets at the VIP.
Yes, bring out the puppets at the VIP session. So
Okay,
for those of you that,
VIP session, great.
yeah, for those of you that joined us and are part of the VIP session, give us a minute and
3 minutes.
actually and click over on that other Zoom link. For those of you that are here tonight with Taylor, know that we recorded the session, and we will send a recorded version to you so that you can watch it again if you didn't get to see the whole thing. And Taylor, we love you and appreciate you being on
Thanks
here.
a lot, you guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Yay!
Let's get
Good night.